Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How is everybody doing today? I'm going to put my makeup on and just kind of chit chat with you today. No real plans about the look or where we're going with it. Just something probably pretty simple. I have to run to the store, the grocery store. Like always, I feel like I've said that multiple times at the beginning of these videos. And that's kind of just the plan for today. We have some things going on this evening, some birthday parties this weekend, so it should be a pretty good weekend. It is Friday right now. It just snowed in the middle of March. Luckily, it's not sticking or anything, so it's kind of why I was hesitant this morning to leave. I wasn't sure how it would be driving around outside, so the kids didn't have a delay or anything, so I figured it must be fine. All right, we went ahead and primed with the e.l.f. Mist and Set. I'm going to use the Cor De Rosa Palette by Sigma for my eyes today. I'm going to prime my eyes with the Lorac and Essence eyeshadow primers. Okay, I'm just going to use a sponge to blend this in because I cannot find my brush for the life of me. I also do want to apologize for the sound in some of my other videos. I've been editing and kind of playing some of them back. And I think it was more the declutters where I'm in front of the microphone and then like behind my camera. And it kind of goes back and forth. So I apologize for that. I'm working on it. I'm not great at editing by any means yet at all. So I know it's a little annoying, but hopefully it will get better. I've also been trying to talk a little bit louder, a little bit more consistent. Just knowing what you need to do, I think, is part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this Milani Pomade Pencil. I'm not going to do any more. I'm afraid it'll snap again, but there's that. I mean, this should really take me days to be done with. So let's get this going in the brows. I'm going to go in with some brow gel. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow in the shade Taupe. I've also been kind of messing with the placement of my camera. I've had it here, I've had it kind of off to the side, I've had it up a little further so it's like looking down. I don't know. I can't decide. I think it's because I like the angle of it when it's coming down this way. But I don't necessarily like looking up at it like that. This is more comfortable just right above my mirror, so we'll see. I don't know. We may just change it up every once in a while and see how we like it. Again, I'm going to use a Project Pan product. This is my e.l.f. Blurring Primer Serum. It's getting a little low. I don't know how I'm going to get this out once it's too low for this dropper, which is, oh, it's already getting to that point. So I don't know what I'm going to do then. I might have to drain it out into a different container. I'm just going to blend this out with a brush. Oh, and I actually found at Dollar Tree, though, some little mini containers for that. There were 3 of them in a pack, and they look like this. And it comes with a little spatula, and I was like, I'm gonna get this. And I'm using it right now for my face cleanser that is too far in the bottom of the bottle for me to reach. I scraped it out and put it in that, and I'm like, this might be a good option for this product because it is like down here, but it's already having trouble getting to the bottom, I feel like. So I don't think I'm going to use my other primer today. I think this one's good. I do enjoy this. It does blur a little bit. It's easy to spread out. I think the eyeshadow primer is set. We're going to go in with the Cor De Rosa palette from Sigma. I did get this at Christmas with 5 of the other palettes. They came in sets of 3 for a really good deal. I don't remember what it was, but I definitely haven't used these as much as I should be using them. They're absolutely stunning. Here's the inside of this one. And we're just going to go for it and see. I think we're going to do something a little bit more simple today. Taking the shade Veranda. Just this white cream shade under the brow. I don't always do this, but if it's in there, I'll use it. I don't set all of my eyeshadow primer though. I do want the shadows to adhere to it, so I don't want to put a powder over the top. If I was going to do that, I just wouldn't put a primer down. I think, oh, and this is the brush that comes in it. I don't know if I said that. I like the brushes in the Sigma palettes better than the brushes in the Anastasia palettes, which would make sense though. This is actually a brush brand. They sell theirs. I'm going to take the shade, I mean, I think we got to use the one. Got to use Cor De Rosa here in the corner. It's a really pretty rose printed on it. I haven't used this in a bit. This is actually a lot more pigmented than I remember. Like there's the shade and then there it is on my eye. Okay, nice. I also noticed in some of my videos, some of the first ones I did, I was just getting over a cold or whatever it was, and I thought I sounded better and felt better, and editing those back I was like, whoa, you can hear me like, you know, breathing and such. So again, apologies for the sounds, but I think I'm going to take the shade, I thought about Hybrid, which is the pinky one down here. But yeah, I think we will. I think we'll go for Hybrid a little bit, and then I'll probably move over to Bare Root. So I think we'll go in with these two here. Put a little more of Hybrid into the crease. Also trying to figure out the lighting. I want to be well lit, but I'm afraid, I've noticed when I go too bright with it, it makes me look like a flash of light. This is actually turning out a little bit more corally. I mean, the outside of this palette is like a corally peach, but I thought it would be more cool tone, I guess, especially like this rose shade is a little more cool tone in the pan, so that's okay. We'll keep moving. We're going to go into Bare Root, which is the dark brown. Other side. Okay. It's pretty good. A nice cool tone brown. Okay, what do we think of that? Not bad? Right here in my eye. I think I'm going to switch brushes to this BH Cosmetics one. I was looking for another one of my Sigma brushes, but they seem to be gone. And if you're keeping track, I still haven't washed my brushes, and I've mentioned that probably in 3 videos. So that I need to do this weekend. Actually, I think the last time I mentioned it, it was also a Friday. Okay. I always end the week with good intentions and begin the week with dirty brushes. Now, I will say when I got the Sigma palettes, I was expecting more pigment out of all of them. They're really nice and they're really easy to blend, but I think that's more what they're going for is the ease of use, kind of a overall, everybody can kind of use it. Some of them are a little bit more sheer. Some of the sparkles are, so it's just a different formula that I'm used to working with. So I do need to play with these. Maybe I'll use one of them a day for a week or something and kind of try to get used to the formula. Because I like it. I like the looks I come out with. I think they're really easy to use and to blend. They're not chalky or anything like that, but it is just a lighter pigment that I'm used to. I'm going to go back into Cor De Rosa and just blend everything back up. My camera, just one of those days. I think it's the outside lighting being so overcast that it's just, it thinks it's dark, but it's not. And it's just a mess. Okay. So we're putting that dark brown in the outer corner. Okay. Now I think I'm going to put down my glitter glue like usual. It is going to be a softer look today, but I want to give these a chance to really adhere. Again, I've not used these enough to really have thoughts on it. Just going to grab this concealer brush, like the little tiny concealer brush. The first half of the lid. Dog's going crazy outside. Now you wouldn't have to use a glitter glue every day like I usually do. You could easily just tap it onto your eyeshadow primer with a brush, with your finger. You could spray your brush. I don't like to do that. I feel like when I spray my brush, it kind of stings my eyes, like the inner corner. Really doesn't matter which setting spray I use, it tends to do it. I'm going to take the opposite end of that brush that came with it and see how this works. I'm going to go into the shade Campfire, which is that center shade here. Let's see. That's pretty. Okay. It's almost kind of like a taupey kind of shade. I don't know, I like that. Almost kind of like a bronze, but I don't know, but not as warm. So probably taupe. That's pretty. I've not used this shade yet. Okay. What do we think of that? That is cute. I like this. Wow, I really do. That's nice. It's very not chunky shimmer. I'm going to take Belle of the Ball on my finger here and just tap this. This is the one that kind of looks like a topper shade. We're just going to go over the top of that. This one I have used this specific shade. It definitely didn't have much of a base to it. It was just really loose, glittery type of shadow. And that's what I mean by getting familiar with these palettes and using them more often, because they're not all the same texture. They're not all the same application method. You know, they're not meant to be used the same way, I don't think. Okay. In this shade, Belle of the Ball. Makes me think of The Office. Michael Scott is Prison Mike. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm going to flip that brush back over with the fluffier side. Take Bare Root, which is that dark brown. Once again, just blending over the edge of that. I feel like this turned into more of a brown neutral look after we put all those pinks on. Covered most of them up. I definitely don't do a lot of looks like this, but this is pretty. These shimmers are really good. I am going to take Cor De Rosa one more time, I think, and just kind of buff it over the edge of everything. Is that dog barking driving you crazy, puppy? She is not enjoying the dog outside. Okay, so we'll put Cor De Rosa on the outer edge. I feel like that brought back in a little bit of pink. A little bit of... And we won't put this palette too far away. We're going to go under the eyes with it after we finish the rest of the face. So now that the eyeshadow look is complete-ish, we're going to go under the eyes a little bit. We're going to put on some foundation. And I'm going to use the Clinique Even Better in Breeze. I've been storing it upside down so that it kind of drips down to the bottom. Sorry, I'm looking over here a little bit more. My camera keeps, when I put anything up to it, it turns gray. So I don't want to get very far with it doing that. Okie dokie. I'm going to use my e.l.f. sponge. Just blending this in. This one looks a little heavy on my forehead. I think that's why I stopped using it. But I made it like halfway through the bottle before I stopped using it. So it is one I do just want to finish up. Along with that Revlon one. This Clinique foundation isn't like a full coverage or anything like that. It's just very medium. I do feel like it's very similar to the Revlon Candid. And I think that's why I like them both. They're kind of medium coverage. They're easy to blend in. Nothing too fancy here. And they're both a good shade match for me without mixing them with anything else. Okay. All right, with that foundation all blended in, we're going to grab some concealer. And I really think I want to use this one up. I want to get this out. This is the Instant Age Rewind. This is the brightener shade. So it's going to be kind of that bright pinky color. I do actually have this in an actual concealer shade as well, but this one's like on its last leg. I just need to use it up. We'll let that set for a moment. I think I'm just going to blend this in with my sponge today. It's pretty brightening. It looks like it didn't cover everything though right there. Left quite a bit of a dark circle. So I'm going to go over it with that e.l.f. Camo concealer as well. Do I feel like I need any more? I feel like it's going to get too cakey underneath there if I keep going in with like the e.l.f. But I think I will take a touch of the e.l.f. like right here on those circles. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo. Also trying to finish. And these won't be the only products that I'm using anymore, but they're fresh in my mind since I just made that video, so. And realizing how close some of these are. Like this one, how close that is to being done. Like, let's finish it and move it on out. That is something I've noticed going back through some of these older products that I'm trying to use up, is they're good. There's nothing wrong with them, but I definitely see why I stopped using them with the things that I brought into my collection. There's, you know, there was something that replaced them. And I think all of these circumstances, you know, oh, got that a little far. With the concealer, the Cover FX kind of popped in, and with the foundations, I kind of want to do a video of like all of my favorite products. And there are some things where I'm like, immediately, I know which ones I would pick. And then there are some that I'm like, what is my favorite, you know, eyeshadow palette or blush or whatever, where I'm like, could I pick a favorite? I mean, I would have to, but I don't know. I think I might do that, but all right, we're going to take that Maybelline Fit Me powder in 05, set the under eyes. Okay. There's that. Then we're going to grab our Infallible Powder to set the rest of the face. We'll just use this. And I actually prefer to use this on a brush rather than a sponge. So I've been thinking about the favorites video, but I really don't know. Because then I thought, okay, if I could only pick out one thing and keep that. And somebody else was like taking the rest of my stuff. I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know if it's more stress than I need or if I should just suck it up and try to figure it out. But yeah, these Project Pan items I like. I like them. I think I want to use them up. Most of them anyway. And they're just so close to being done. I'm going to finish up the eyes before I go on to the face products. So we're going to grab that Cor De Rosa palette back out. And I'm going to take that Bare Root shade again in the outer corner where I put my concealer. Fill that back in. I'll take a little bit of this on the lower lash line as well. And I think I will use the little side of this for the under eye and see how that works. Taking Cor De Rosa underneath. On that same brush, Bare Root, which was that dark brown. Just gonna connect everything. Again with the fluffy side with no additional product. Just gonna blend the outer corner. Okay, I think we're done with the shadow. I'm not gonna go too crazy on the lower lash line today. But I do want to add a waterline eyeliner. And I think I'm going to try something I've not used yet. I'm kind of nervous to use this, honestly. I'm going to try the Besame Eye Pencil. That was from the Marilyn Monroe collection. They had a white one and a brown one. I'm going to try the brown in the waterline. The only thing that makes me nervous about this is a true pencil, like a pencil, like wooden pencil. And it looks really nice, like it swatches really easily on the hand. So I'm hoping it's easy to get onto the waterline. If I feel like I'm pulling too much, I'll stop and grab a different one, but okay, that looks nice. It's easy to apply. I'm not having to tug or anything. Putting it into in between the lashes as well with this color. I used to only wear brown eyeliner, like ever. I wore it on my lower lash line and my upper lash line. I would draw in with a pencil every day. So maybe we'll try that today, just for nostalgia's sake. But yeah, I didn't actually go in the waterline. I would just draw underneath with a brown pencil. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to stay there, but like that looks nice. Okay. So I will take it, and it barely like shortened it. This is still really sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and take that on the upper lashes as well. Okay, now that we're done lining the upper lashes, that actually looks really nice. That was easy to use, and it's still really, really sharp. So, wow. I honestly did not have high expectations for this. I bought it in the set with like 4 pencils and the sharpener. It had 2 eyeliners and 2 lip liners, and this is really, really nice. I got it at TJ Maxx, so if you see it there, it is nice. Okay. Makes me want to reach into the white one as well and see what that one looks like on the inner corner. Let's see. Yeah, definitely giving pigment off there. So, I don't know. I don't feel like it did a whole lot. A little bit, I guess. Okay, it did on that one. Maybe it just need to warm up a little bit. Okay. Now, that does look a little chunky on the top, so I'm going to go back into the eyeshadow palette brush and just go over the top of that. Just going to blend it in. Cool. We will do mascara in a moment. We're going to go ahead and finish up the face. Going to grab the contour, the one and only contour I've been using, the Kevyn Aucoin. This will be done before too long. I have a Pixie contour I might use next. I also have one of those big, like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a Kevyn Aucoin like book, and it has some powders and creams in it. I don't use the creams, but I'm wondering how hard it would be to take out one of the, there's another powder in there like this, but it's in the shade medium. But I wonder how hard it would be to take out of that and put into this packaging. I wonder. So, my chin always looks shiny. Tell you what, this is the first place my makeup wears off. It's my chin. Okay, we're gonna take some of this down the side of the nose, kind of into the eyebrow a little bit. Bronzer. I don't think I'm going to use my I don't think I'm going to use my Lumi bronzer today. I think I'm going to grab something else. I'm going to use my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer, and this is an 01 Sunlight. I've not used this in forever. I have 01 and 02, so let's give this one a go. If I remember correctly, this is not very, so I say not very pigmented. There's still stuff in my brush from last time. The Milani bronzer has kind of a sweet smell to it. It's nothing like the Physicians Formula. My goodness. Make you feel like you're on a tropical vacation. and spilled sunscreen all over yourself. I'm not a huge fan of scented products, if that needed to be said. I don't mind like a light scent. Like this has a light scent. I have to actually put my nose in it like that to smell it. Things like the butter bronzer, like this guy, I mean, without even opening this, I can smell it, you know? That's just not my favorite. I don't love the scented products. I actually decluttered some face products that the smell doesn't fade from when you apply it. The Mally concealer I decluttered was probably the worst culprit. It smelled like baby powder, which would have been fine if when you applied it, it dried and went away. It didn't. It smelled like that all day, and I got a massive headache. On to blush. What do I want to use? Okay, for blush, I've grabbed a couple of things. The e.l.f. Primer Infused Shimmer Blush in Always Preppy. There's that one. And the Laura Geller in Sunlit Rose. There's that. I think I might layer the two. I've been more into a shimmery blush lately, as long as it's not glittery. You start getting the glitter specks on the cheeks, that's when I'm not a fan. That's why I'm layering this. The Laura Geller can look a little bit too sparkly right here on like my textured areas. Any blush is really going to accentuate it, in my opinion. Any kind of shimmer, like you can really... It is what it is. Okay, there's that one. Now we're going to take the Laura Geller in Sunlit Rose and just a little bit on the top of the cheek. Like these are really pigmented and really sparkly. Not sparkly. Glowy. Glowy is the word. Like look how much that added. Whoa. Okay. A little on the nose. Now I'm actually going to take the palette one more time just to clean up the outer edge. I don't always do this, but I feel like that brown got like a little out of control out here. I'm going to take the Veranda shade, which is that matte cream shade here, and I'm going to buff that around the outer corner. And I don't think it looks quite this, like this looks more aggressive on the camera than it does in real life. I think it's like some sort of shadow that's happening here. See, when I turn my head, it's not as bad. So, I don't know. Let's add a little more cream shadow. I feel like that looks fine. I'm not seeing anything really unblended about it, but it does look a little aggressive on camera. Oh, I'm not going to walk around with this camera in my face. I will be walking around in real life. So we're going to make it look nice for me. I'm going to grab my powder sponge that still had some of that under eye powder on it. And I'm actually going to put that on my chin. Because for some reason my chin today is just glowing. On to highlighter. For highlighter, I think I'm going to grab the Milani Dolce Perla Baked Highlighter. I'm going to grab a little highlighting brush. Carefully. Whoa. Again, does not look like on my face. Man, the way the light's hitting that. That may have been too much. See, it's the way the light's hitting. Because this side doesn't look like that. I think I got a little too far down the cheek on that side. I like a little down the nose. I know some people do not. Do you? Okay. As this is all kind of settling into my skin, I feel like this is probably why I stopped using that foundation, the Clinique foundation. It's looking like really textured on the center of my face. And the Revlon one kind of does it too. I think that's probably why I stopped using them. So I might try them with a different primer. I do just want to use them up. Like it looks fine. Like back here, it looks fine. But But if I'm setting like this, I can see, you know, all the texture and everything. So again, it's kind of that world of looking at yourself that closely. Everything's going to look a little bit more textured. You're going to be a little more critical. You just are. Okay, the next step will be my mascara. So I'm going to set my face before I do that. And I'm going to use the e.l.f. setting spray I'm trying to use. That setting spray I'm kind of meh about. I don't think it does a ton. I think it, you know, takes the powdery look down. But if you really want like a spray that like sets things in, I like the Catrice setting sprays for that. So I am going to pop off camera here and apply some mascara because that is boring to watch. And I will find some lipstick and we will finish up this look. This Essence mascara worked really well today. It was like the perfect consistency. It really curled them and actually looks really, really nice. I'm afraid to get too close to my camera because it keeps making it gray when I do that. So I'm going to sit back here and just look up a little bit. Hopefully you can tell that this worked really well today. I didn't even have to pair it with anything else. I went ahead and put on some lipstick. I used the Clinique Sweetly, what's this, lip liner, and the NARS Dolce Vita lipstick. So that's it for today. I'm heading out to the grocery store. I hope you have a good day doing whatever it is you're doing today, and I will see you next time. Bye.